So good morning at 17 minutes to 9 almost. Let's dive into some of the other news stories this morning. And what have you got for us, Alex, first of all?
Well, I imagine you definitely are, Ben. I'm not sure about yourself, Rhian, but you'll certainly know the music of. Are you a fan, though, of Whitney?
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, who else? Yeah. Well, I mean, she's one of the most successful artists of probably all time, really. But if you were thinking, well, because of course, she tragically died, that I'll never get to see her perform, that's not actually the case. She has been brought back and has now started touring as a hologram.
Oh, that's like Black Mirror.
Yes,
very
it's a bit like
isn't
that.
it?
Yeah.
It's a funny one, isn't it? I don't know whether I like that or not, really.
I remember hearing that this was a concept, but yes, it's this posthumous concerts that it has hours and hours of her footage of live concerts featuring all her best loved songs. I was going to say films there. And so, just kicked off a tour, the first leg of the British dates, playing in Sheffield last night.
Wow.
So, yes, and she's there in her outfits. And
did
it
loads
is
of people
incredible.
go?
I believe so. I haven't got any figures for you. I mean, I'm sure it'd be massive because it's just a chance to actually watch her visual concerts as well. So, I mean, I know the whole live cinema experience is a really popular thing now. So, it's her dancing. They have backup dancers as well. So they've really made it into a live show, but with the actual, the star of the show being a hologram.
I wonder if they'll do that with like Michael Jackson. Well, maybe not because there's more controversy around him, but other people, other big stars.
I think there's plenty of controversy, to be honest, around Whitney.
Yeah, to be fair,
So, I mean, the concert series is called An Evening with Whitney, the Whitney Houston hologram tour, if you're interested in one.
I think it's one of those things, once you kind of get used to the concept, actually it's a great way for her music to live on, because my goodness me, you look at that back catalogue, I mean, one of the greatest voices of all time, I think there's no doubt about that, is that. And just an amazing range of songs, the big poppy upbeat numbers, and then those huge ballads as well. So, actually, not a bad
I think
idea.
it could be very emotional for sort of real hardcore fans as well, to sort of see her at her peak again, instead of remembering her perhaps in the more tragic circumstances toward the end.
That's the thing, isn't it? Best remembered as that incredible performer that she undoubtedly was, in her prime. What have you got for us, Rhian?
Talking about more sort of incredible women, two incredible women passed away this week, quite coincidentally at exactly the same age. So baby Peggy, who's our last connection to silent cinema, passed away at 101. So her real name was Diana Carey, and she was born in 1918 and made her film debut in 1921, and she appeared in more than 150 short and feature films. And her background story is she got black booked as an actor because of her father, who was a stuntman, and apparently he liked to kick up a fuss with studios. So she tried to make a comeback as an adult in Hollywood, but they didn't want silent movie actors for talkies, apart from a select few. So she became a magazine writer and journalist. And also this week, Katherine Johnson, the NASA mathematician who made it possible for the first moon landing in 1969, she passed away at 101 as well.
There's a whole thing about these women that sort of go under the radar in history, isn't there? And they're two really great exampes of influential, amazing people. That it's really worth
in the
honouring.
background. And with Katherine Johnson, have you seen the film Hidden Figures?
I haven't. It's on my list.
I haven't.
It's fantastic. I think you would both really enjoy it. It was nominated for 3 Oscars. It's a brilliant film, and that obviously focuses on her story.
It's a great story, the whole thing, actually, like you were alluding to there, the transition between silent movies and the talkies. Singing in the Rain, the movie and musical, really sort of chart this very well. It was a big thing, wasn't it? Huge change at the time. What a shame that she sort of got blacklisted there in such a way.
I know, it was kind of, I don't know, these stars seem to have a tragic turn, unfortunately. Many of them did, actually. When you look at, I remember reading that the kids from the Mary Poppins film, had, it, I don't know if it's childhood fame, but
too much too soon, almost, isn't it? As is often the way.
Really.
Because I think Charlie Chaplin was actually a rare example of somebody that was able to go from silent cinema into the talkies, because it was so difficult. So many people didn't like people they recognised, and then hearing their voice, it was jarring. So it was actually, it was a difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
There you go. And 101 years of age, both of those ladies. Incredible age. And finally, from me, look at this. Paper and pens could become a thing of the past for GCSE exams in Wales, because there's this big consultation at the moment on exams in Wales, which could include a major shift towards 16-year-olds sitting tests online. And what do you make of this?
As in, like, on laptops?
I guess so, yeah. Would they still go into, like, the library or the school hall and all sit there, but actually doing it online rather... They would have to. There'd have to be that sort of regulation.
Presumably, they would be limited with what they could do with the computers. So as long as there's no danger of sort of...
Just Googling all the answers.
Yeah, exactly.
So it would have to be internet-disabled laptops, wouldn't it?
In theory, if it means saving a few trees, which it certainly would do if this is a sort of Britain-wide thing.
I think this is it. It's a big sort of environmental push.
I think it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I think this is it.
Interesting.
So they reckon it could be from 2022 in Wales. Anyway, this could be happening. So when you think about the amount of paper that must be used for exams, I mean, huge, isn't it? So could be a big environmental thing. There you go. You heard it here first. It could be happening in the next couple of years in Wales there.